Hello, hello! My name is Callista, and welcome back to Dragon Age Inquisition. In the last episode, Aenor was talking to Blackwall about the Grey Wardens. He did say some kinda odd things, but I'm sure there's a perfectly reasonable explanation. Now, I did say I was probably going to speak to him again. I didn't realise just how much I had spoken to him at the time. We're going to leave Blackwall be. I'm sure he's fine. Now then, considering I'm at the stables... Hello.
The horses. I forgot about the Ferelden horses.
Aenor, how could you do that? Look at Chestnut. Look at what a good boy he is. But yes, I just very quickly want to show off my favourite mounts, the Nuggalopes.
Inquisition?
Look at it. I love these guys. What, their feet look... Oh no, their back feet don't look normal. Ugh. I don't... Hello. I'm gonna call you Frida. She looks like a Frida to me. I love them so much. I love how doofy they look. Okay, I'm not gonna have Aenor using them. We're gonna go back to Chestnut.
That'll do fine.
Chestnut is more than fine. Chestnut is glorious. You do you, Chestnut. Now then, Buddy, how are you doing? You okay?
Inquisition?
Yeah, the horse is all right?
How are your charges? Well supplied?
Surprisingly well. Not many could feed these people, let alone their mounts. Makes me wonder what you're capable of.
Oh, so much.
Farewell.
Make her be with you.
Fingers crossed we'll get everything done and the world will be saved and Corypheus will be dead or whatever, I don't know. Okay, so we've spoken to everyone down here. We've spoken to everyone in the tavern. No one's in the kitchen, let's see. The only person inside that we've spoken to is Varric. I'm just having a look around because, again, I am on the lookout for a particular character. How did I know? How did I know? Lord Trifles Minute, why are you behind the wall? Sir, you need to leave that area. I don't have access to that. I might not ever have access to this area. This guy, he's, how to describe this man? He's kind of an Easter egg. He spawns in randomly in Skyhold, and if you go and speak to him, basically he reveals that he is a member of the Quizquisition, and he will ask you Dragon Age related questions, and if you answer them all correctly, you have to find him multiple times. If you answer all of his questions correctly, he gives you a nice prize. Unfortunately, this time he's spawned into a secret area. Boo. Boo, Lord Trifles Minute. How could you do this to me? I am in shock. Now then, Josephine.
Another letter for Master Tetris? The Merchants Guild never gives up.
No, they don't. They really don't.
Inquisitor, I must speak with you.
What is it?
I must explain something first about the Montilyet's fortunes.
I remember you said your family had been forbidden from trading in Orlais.
It's devastated our finances. The Montilyets have, in fact, been in debt for over 100 years.
Whoa. I'm sorry, I didn't know. You don't seem poverty-stricken. I'm not giving you a loan. But you're wearing fancy clothes and have jewels. You don't look poverty-stricken. People can put on a front. We don't know what her home looks like. She could be living in a complete shithole. Like, they've made sure the exterior is good, but the inside is a wreck, which is which is a good way of describing most English stately homes. The exterior and the gardens are beautiful, but they don't let you look inside because legally they can't. It would be a health hazard allowing people into some of those homes. I think Aenor would apologise. This wasn't something she was aware of.
I had no idea your family's situation was so precarious.
Hardly anyone outside the family does. For generations, we've done everything to keep creditors at bay. Sold our lands to stave off interest. It is infuriating to see my family still reduced to this. I'm to become head of our house. If I sell any more of our land, my family will become destitute. That cannot be my legacy to them.
Here's the thing. What is your definition of poor? Aenor's definition of poor is going to be very different from Josie's. Josie is a noble. I do think Josie does sound a little bit... I don't know if ignorant is the right word, but she sounds... Like I said, she's talking about like, oh, we're having to sell off our land. But someone in Aenor's position, like, what land would there be to sell? Like, if you were in such dire straits, you don't have the luxury of being able to sell off a bit of land. You'd have to sell, like, oh, I'm selling my teeth, I'm selling my hair, I'm selling my body to try and get through this. You have the luxury of being able to sell off bits of land.
Most people worry about their next meal, never mind an estate.
I'm not blind, but I worry for my family. My foolish sister Yvette with her daydreams. My brothers trying to rebuild our fleet with their own hands. Is it wrong to hope they never know hardship?
I mean, it isn't. You want to try and spare your family from distress, hunger, pain. At the same time, hardship can... Hardship doesn't necessarily mean it's going to break a person. It can sometimes make a person, but then there are other people who are just more delicate, more fragile. Hardship would break them. It's one of those tricky things. I can understand where Josie is coming from. She wants to protect her family. Is there anything we can do to help?
Is there anything I can do?
I'd almost solved our problems. For a while. I negotiated a chance to reinstate the Montilyets as landed traders in Orlais. We could rebuild with that. But when I dispatched paperwork to Val Royeaux, I've just learned my carriers were murdered. And the documents restoring my family's trading status destroyed.
Who did it? Who would go to that trouble? Was this an attack on us? That seems a little big-headed. Well, clearly this must be about the Inquisition. Everything revolves around the Inquisition. Do you know who did it?
Do you have any idea who murdered them?
Leliana made inquiries that bore success. Comte Boisvert, a nobleman in Val Royeaux, claims to know who killed my messengers. He has a request that you come when I meet him, so he's seen publicly conferring with you.
What will being seen with me gain the Comte?
The Comte will drop hints at parties he's to meet with an important visitor. Allies and rivals will take note. Once he's met you, there will be speculation. The Comte will subtly spin reports to his advantage. He will use us. But if he knows who killed my people, I ask that we indulge him.
Ah, the game. How wonderful. If it helps you, I'll go. He sounds desperate. He better not want more favours. I mean, it's an afternoon meeting. He's not asking for the moon on a string. He's just gonna chat with us in public. Yeah, that's a pretty easy ask.
If that's what it takes to get to the bottom of this, I'll meet this Comte with you.
Thank you, Inquisitor. It means... You are too kind. I must know who killed my couriers just to harm my family.
Hey, it's all good, lass. Like I said, she's not asking for anything particularly difficult.
A pleasure.
Ooh, more personal questions. Ooh. Tell me about Antiva. Oh God, we've got so many things to talk to Josie about. Okay, let's discuss Antiva first. Then I think maybe we'll focus on her family. You know, she was just talking about them. It makes sense.
Who rules Antiva?
Officially, the Principality of Antiva is governed by His Majesty King Fugelno II. In reality, Antiva's merchant princes rule the country in everything but name. Quite loudly, I might add.
What sort of dealings did you have with these merchant families?
As ambassador, I attended Privy Council meetings in a mediatory capacity. May I just say, one has never heard an argument until they've sat in on 15 princes howling down each other's tariff suggestions.
God, that... And she was the mediator there. How the hell do you deal with that?
That sounds more like a mob than a meeting.
It's all a part of life in Antiva. Our traditions value passion and romance. A certain exuberance of style.
You're not very exuberant. Excuse you, have you seen how she dresses? Such bold colours. To be fair, her personality can be quite muted at times, I guess.
Are you positive you're Antivan?
I can be most exuberant when it's called for. Just at the right moments, and in a proper fashion. Might we speak of something else?
In a proper fashion, of course. I do like Josie. I think she's adorable. And what's living in Antiva like?
What's the land like in Antiva?
The settled areas are quite lush. The vineyards run as far as the eye can see in some places. Antiva City, however, perches right up against the Rialto Bay. That's what I miss most. The sea crashing against the maze of the docks.
Sounds lovely.
I have difficulty seeing you wandering around a trading port.
Everyone in Antiva City spends time by the ships, my lady. The finest restaurants and poets all make their habitation by the sea. The waterfront's never still. Lanterns are lit along the promenade no matter what the weather.
Oh, God, she had to bring up restaurants. Now I'm craving fish cakes again. God damn. Damn it, Josephine, and my weakness for fish cakes. Oh, I love fish cakes. I absolutely love them so much. I had them for dinner recently. I think I've still got one in the freezer downstairs. My fiancé didn't seem all that impressed. How dare you? Fish is great.
Are you ever homesick?
Occasionally. When a breeze stirs the trees in the garden, I sometimes pretend it's the sound of the surf. Do you know, I even miss those terrible squawking birds infesting the harbor. My youngest sister used to throw whole loaves of bread to the gulls. Silly thing.
But I bet the gulls were appreciative. Yeah, what's your family like?
Tell me about the Montilyets.
Well, my parents are alive and in good health. They live in our estate in Antiva City. Of my 4 siblings, most attend to the running of the family vineyards. That reminds me, I must ask someone to make sure Yvette attends the spring reception at the palace. My youngest sister has no head for social engagements.
Why isn't she arranging that?
Why are you overseeing your siblings' social lives?
It's Antivan custom. After a certain age, the heir apparent runs the family's estate to prove they're worthy of succession. If you're unfit for the task, the heads of the house, usually one's parents, may decree a new heir.
I really like that we're getting more information about Antiva. You know, Zevran spoke so fondly of it in Origins, And then in Dragon Age 2, to be fair, with Dragon Age 2, we didn't really get any new information. Everything was so hyper-focused on Kirkwall, and that's understandable. The entire game took place in the exact same city, and it was all focused on one person. It was a very personal story rather than a global story like the Inquisition, like Inquisition or Origins. And yes, Origins took place in Ferelden, but you were dealing with something that affected the whole world. Dragon Age 2, it was all about one person living their life and their many, many trials and tribulations. So I can understand why the games didn't really introduce any new information about other countries in Dragon Age 2, but I do love that we're getting more information with Inquisition. I love that we're hearing about Antiva again, and Navarra and Tevinter and all of those other places.
What do these Antivan heads of the households do if they don't run it?
They work and provide guidance. I've taken advice from my parents. Well, mostly mother. Father's more of an artist. It's rather gauche, but we never can dissuade him from running his own salons. Between him and my siblings, mother's looking forward to my taking over the estate.
Sounds like Josie comes from a long line of strong women. I was gonna say hard-headed. That's not what I meant. Like I said, strong, independent women who are in charge and are good at being in charge. That sounds exhausting. That must require compromise. Where does she find the time? She's acting as a diplomat for the Inquisition. Where do you find the time to do all this stuff? This is the aggressive option though, so I'm not going to go with that. I think this links in rather nicely. She's got so many responsibilities on her shoulders. She must be so tired.
Between that and the Inquisition, when do you ever rest?
Delegation helps a great deal. But managing the estate is my duty. As much work as it is, I will not shirk it.
Is running your family's estate that important to you?
I'm responsible for their welfare. A Montilyet never shuns their familial duty. Taxing as those duties can sometimes be.
Well, you were talking about delegation. Maybe your siblings can help.
Maybe your siblings could help lighten your burden.
You don't know them. But Lorien in charge, or Antoine, or Yvette? No, truly, it must be me.
She's the responsible one of the four. Let's leave these for a different time. Okay, thank you, Josie.
Let's speak later.
Goodbye.
There you go. And
Yes?
yeah, anything to report?
What do the people make of us?
We've gathered many favors among the nobility. They will be gently reminded of this.
Good stuff. And are there any guests?
Any visiting dignitaries I should watch out for?
None in particular. Our guests are well pleased with what they've seen.
Excellent. Okay, keep up the good work, Josie. You're doing great. Now, it feels like ages since I last checked in at the war table. What did we send people off doing? Oh, we have a perk. Hello. We could get a bigger backpack. It's always...
It's a bit cold in here, don't you think? We are in the mountains.
I'm more concerned about everything scattering whenever there's a draft.
Oh dear, I'm sorry about that, people. We'll see if we can get anyone to shore up the windows and doors. Make sure we're not letting in any unnecessary drafts. I was saying something and I can't remember what. Oh dear. I really don't think we're going to need this. Considering I have equal footing or even footing, whatever it's called, so enemies will always match our level, I don't think we're going to need the 5% increase in XP from killing foes. And we don't really use the horse enough for that. Let's go with Master Focus. That seems good. Okie doke. Now, what's everyone doing? Gain Orzamar's friendship. Our emissaries have returned. Orzammar has pledged to our cause some of the most formidable warriors from the Legion of the Dead. According to the king, they are veteran Darkspawn hunters, absolutely fearless. The king also graciously offered to share Orzamar's wealth. He recognizes the threat Corypheus poses. Oh, thank you, Balin. Thank you, you little tyrannical shithead. Outfitting the crew. A note from the quartermaster. Thank you for the indulgence. I have outfitted Sutherland and his small crew in equipment more appropriate to agents of the Inquisition. Given their humble origins, it is doubtful they have ever seen the like. Sir Morris. And Cullen was making us money. Thank you. Okay, I'm gonna take a look at my notes and decide which war table missions I'm gonna send people out on next. So, be right back. Okie doke, and I am back. First things first, Inspire. I hear your name on everyone's lips. They want to conquer you in battle and in the bedroom. Oh dear. Oh no. You are a legend, a dream. You make them forget their troubles, the war and the torn sky. That is what they need from you most of all. You must bring good cheer to them when they cannot find it for themselves. Men fight harder for revelries they've tasted. Lord Chancellor de Leon. Josephine says, or I could arrange for an elegant gathering with fine food and well-considered party favours. Liliana says we're not having a party, there's no time. And Cullen says, if I know Lord Chancellor, he'll want roast boar stuffed with apples that the guests hunt and kill for themselves. This could be a nice distraction. You know, in the midst of war and all of that, whilst there's nothing going on, when everything is quiet, it might be nice to throw like a little hunting party for people where everyone can have a good laugh. So, Cullen?
Inquisitor.
Indeed. And over here, hunt the Therenfall Redoubt demon. Inquisitor. The demon that fled Therenfall Redoubt left signs of its passage. It appears to be some sort of shapeshifter. Witnesses have described incidents of friends acting strangely or being in two places at once, that sort of thing. The Chargers have experience hunting demons. Say the word and we're on it. Lieutenant Cremisius Eclasi. Josephine says, a few well-placed words will have the nobility on guard for imposters. The hunt should be much easier. Liliana says, the Chargers know what they're doing. I can pass them information and send them off hunting. And Cullen wasn't participating. So, here's the thing. The Chargers are incredibly competent. However, we can make their job easier. This isn't so much, because I've said this before, Aenor wants the Inquisition to stand on its own 2 feet. She doesn't want people to be intimidated by this large organization, but she also doesn't want people to think that I feel like I've completely ballsed up this sentence. Again, it's hot. There's a heat wave. My apologies. I'm going to start from the beginning of what I was saying, because I feel like I completely ballsed that up. Aenor doesn't want the Inquisition to lean on people. She doesn't want the nobility or whoever to think that, like, oh, the Inquisition come into my house and they demand things and we have to give it to them. She also doesn't want people to feel like, oh, the Inquisition don't do anything. They ask nobles to do all this shit for them, but they won't actually lift a finger. And she also doesn't want people to feel like the Inquisition is this big, scary organization that no one can approach. If we approach them, we're gonna die of fright. Oh, God. As such, you know, when dealing with nobles and, you know, getting nobility to do stuff, I tend to avoid those options. However, this isn't saying, hey, the nobility can help. This is going to the nobility and warning them, saying, hey, there's a shape-shifting demon on the loose. You might want to be on the lookout. This could potentially help out with relations. You know, the nobility are like, oh, they warned us. Thank you, we are so grateful. That kind of thing. So, Josephine?
At your service.
Hop 2, hop 2. And now, very quickly, I'm going to run back to the tavern to speak with Sutherland. It won't take me 2 minutes, it's Reet. Yes, I know I didn't have Liliana doing anything. That may or may not have anything to do with the fact that I'm running back to the tavern. Pardon me, people.
Inquisitor?
I was about to say, is anyone going to say anything to Aenor? Normally someone always says something. Huh, okay. Oh. Okay, I was about to say, it seems like it's a quiet day in Skyhold. Not much going on.
Come we, the able true, to Skyhold now.
And you're not going to say anything either, damn. Hello.
This is sleek stuff. I've never seen anything like this.
I have serious bard gear. This is the best.
Wow. And you're greeting it. You too, Voth. I can't wait for the next job.
Oh, they're so excited.
Inquisitor, this gear is the best. I never thought, well, will be worth it, I swear.
A test of metal and the crew. Excellent. Yeah, we will send you out ASAP, Sutherland. We have important jobs for you. I think he's adorable. I think he's so sweet. He's just so excited to be here and be helping. I love Sutherland. Pretty sure I've said this before, but I'd really like it if he were in Dragon Age 4. Just as like a little side character. I'm not saying like he should have like a major plot line or out like that, but I'd like him to make a return. Okie doke. Now where did that spawn in? Oh, reports of darkspawn activity. Okay. Okay, it's not over here.
Not yet. I'll let you know as soon as I do.
Aha, a test of metal and the crew. Actually, let me just double check that I do want to be sending Liliana out on this. Yeah, good stuff. Okay. A report sealed with the mark of a minor lord. It is irrelevant to notice the darkspawn, your worship. Such pockets are not uncommon. We understand that you cannot allow such things on trade routes you wish to exploit. Unfortunately, we cannot allow external forces to cross our holdings. Instead, we request sanction to act under your banner. It is a risk we are prepared to take because such partnership and the expected increase in status will be profitable. In return, we will promise resources, but we remain committed to merely observing your greater struggle. I trust you understand. Lord Praymond Ailes, a note by Cullen added below to the report, brought to our attention by Sutherland and his crew.
You did not notice? I had no idea Lady Beverly was one of your people. You might have told me before I embarrassed myself.
Oh, okay. Brought to our attention by Sutherland and his crew. Charming. Yeah, this guy seems like an arsehole. Josephine would have suggested a holdout over negotiations. The offer comes with caveats, but it is valuable. So Josephine is saying just go with the Arl, sack Sutherland, we don't need him. Cullen says, do we need such allies? March, so use our own troops. But Liliana, answer with a small group and give this fool no reason to posture. Sutherland and his crew will serve. Yeah, he's bringing it to our attention. We know he's capable, so Sutherland, get to it.
Let's see what we have.
Good stuff. Alrighty then, how much time do I have left? I only have about 5 minutes, so you know what? We'll read some codex entries and then I'll sign off for today. That seems good. Oh, no, back. Creatures, hello. Oh, right here. Tusket. The curving tusks protruding... I'm gonna start that again. The curving tusks protruding from the snout are present in both males and females of the species. Rarely used in combat, the upper tusks play an important part in mate selection. It's believed that tuskets choose prospective mates based not only There's a word missing there. Based not only on the size, but also on the curve and even slight colour variation found in another's tusks. Considering tuskets bond for life, careful mate selection is crucial to the continued success of the herd. Bonded tuskets have been seen gently clicking their tusks together as a sign of affection. The role of the tusket's signature ornamentation in the mating process led to an unfortunate rumour that their tusks could increase virility in other species. Although usually docile, tuskets will defend themselves if cornered, or if someone attempts to saw off part of their anatomy. It's said Baron Vandermein lost 3 servants this way. From Observed Behaviours in the Common Tusket by Tilda Adair. Aw, I like tuskets, they're cute. Wraith. Like wisps, wraiths are sometimes thought to be the remains of a spirit or demon that have been destroyed. They cannot shape the fade around themselves, nor are they capable of mimicking forms they see in the minds of dreamers, as many weaker spirits do. Instead, they are the scavengers of the fade, dwelling in the shadows of stronger beings, feeding on scraps of thought and emotion. From Beyond the Veil, Spirits and Demons by Enchanter Mirdramel. Very interesting. And groups. I had such trouble reading the Cunlat words last time, and it's even hotter today. Oh god. Cunari Tamazrans. Nanny Goodwin lay on the hard stones of the Kirkwall docks until the sailors left with her purse. As she struggled to her feet, a large great hand reached down to help her. It was one of the Cunari, the great horned giants who had come to live in the city. "I thank you," said Nanny Goodwin hesitantly, looking for her satchel. "I did not know the docks were so dangerous, or I would have asked one of Lord G's guards to accompany me as I brought healing herbs for the children." "You are a Tamazran," said the Cunari. "Under the Cune, no sailor would accost you. Why are you here?" "I am but Lord G's nanny," Nanny Goodwin said, "and Lord G did not believe me when I told him that the children needed healing herbs, so I was forced to buy them myself." "Under the Cune," said the Cunari, "Tamazrans are trusted and listened to when caring for the children, and any healing herbs they needed would be provided. Why did Lord G not attend your words?" "He is a noble," Nanny Goodwin said, "and I am merely a servant who cares for his children." She shifted her shawl to hide the bruises the sailors had given her, as well as the bruises Lord G himself had left. "Under the Cune," said the Cunari, "all are equal, and no Tamazran thinks herself a mere anything." Nanny Goodwin bid the Cunari good day, and returned to Hightown with much to think about. An excerpt from The Lies of the Nobles, The Truth of the Cune, author unknown. Again, this reads like propaganda. I'm not saying this interaction didn't happen, but if it did, I don't think it went exactly like this. Again, like so many of the Chantry Codex entries, you're just like, this reeks of Chantry propaganda. Well, this reeks of Cunari propaganda. It's a pretty story. I just don't believe it. Alrighty then, and with that, I am just about out of time for this episode. In the next one, I think we'll probably go speak with Dorian, Liliana, Vivienne, and Solus. I'm leaving Solus till last. But until then, please remember to like if you enjoyed, leave a comment below. And if you wanted to subscribe, it would be very much appreciated. I've been Callista. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next episode.